Hello, Alex here. Today is March the 14th, and we're going to be talking about the Elder Scrolls Online combat system. They had a Q&A, and this is what went down. They also announced they will be at the PAX event in Boston, so if you're in the area, don't forget to check it out. So the first question was, would you please explain the soft locking system? So in order to hit your target, you must be facing your target, and you will be able to pick out a target out of a crowd and hit the target even if there's someone standing in front of them. But the only thing is they can actively dodge your attack if they time it properly. Now let's talk about counterattack. Will there be any counterattack abilities? Basically no, but there are certain skills that benefit from you applying a certain state on your opponent. For example, interrupting and then using a certain skill. But all in all, no, you do not need to put your opponent under any state in order to use any skill. Now in terms of the Holy Trinity. How important will the Holy Trinity be in PvE/endgame raids? So this question was answered with a scenario, and it was a dungeon run they did at level 12. So their party consisted of, first off, a Templar with light armor and a healing staff. His abilities were focused around healing. Another Templar with light armor and dual wield with healing abilities as well. Also had one Dragon Knight with light armor and destruction staff. Lastly, they had one Sorcerer with heavy armor and dual wield. So there was no real consolation when they each made their characters, meaning they didn't help each other or discuss on how they were building their characters. Only things that were ensured was that they had at least one healer. This goes to show that anyone can have their own build, don't have to follow a cookie cutter build, and be successful while running a dungeon. They did have one complaint, and it was that they didn't have a tank. Closest thing was the Sorcerer with heavy armor and dual wield. He did have aggro abilities, but no real tanking keep me alive things to go with. Ultimately, this means that your own character progression will lead you to what you want to be, whether it be a tank or mage or whatever you want. Now, PvP leveling. Will you be able to level through PvP? The answer is yes. Once you hit level 10, you can level through PvP in Cyrodiil through the AVH system. What about kills and experience? No, as far as killing a monster, you both get the experience and the looting system works likewise. Let's talk soft targeting. In regards to the soft targeting system, how does this system work in raids and large PvP groups for healers? Soft targeting doesn't really affect you as a healer because most heals are area of effects or effects themselves, meaning you don't actually have to target an ally to heal them. To be most effective, you might want to stand close to your group or stand in front of them for cone effects. Healers will need to pay attention to their environment and stay alert. So what about armor? How will the different armor types be balanced? So starting off, each armor type will have a progression line with it. Advancing down the light armor line, you get benefits to your magicka regen, and spells. Medium armor gives you benefits to your stamina abilities like stealing and dodging. And heavy armor will give you benefits to your health and bracing. Obviously, armor will have magic properties beyond this, and you can mix and match to what you see fit. Let's talk about dodging. Will active dodging be via WASD movement, or will it be an ability linked skill? As long as you have stamina, you can dodge. There's no abilities associated with it, but there are passives that can enhance it. Moving on, let's talk about skill cap. What part of the combat system can we use to distinguish ourselves and surpass our opponents in combat and 1v1 situations? This is where it gets interesting because there's a huge amount of skills that you have when it comes to building your character. For example, what abilities you put on your shortcut bar, what consumables you have at your disposal, how you allocate your health, magicka, and stamina points, what armor and weapons you're using, and even where you place your skill points. It also comes down to the actual combat. For example, using your spells at the right time so you don't waste your magicka, dodging or blocking at the right time so you make your opponent waste his magicka, coordinating your health and crowd control with your teammates, fighting near cover, recognizing when you need to swap to your alternate weapon, using area denial spells to defend choke points and break up formation, and just a lot more. So at the end of the day, there will be a lot of skill in the actual combat system. So even as a small group, you can be victorious over a large group. It just requires some smarts, teamwork, and tactics. There was also talk about the bow system. How will the bow and arrow system work in this game? So like previous Elder Scrolls games, it will be an aim and shoot system, but with a charge system. The longer you hold down the left mouse button, the more damage your attack will deal. Now, when talking about weapons as a whole, will different weapons have different abilities? And yes, each weapon will have their own set of skills. For example, if you equip a restoration staff, you can grant healing, but as soon as you switch to a greatsword, you can no longer use that skill and requires you to use the weapon to unlock skills for that weapon. But you also have Templar healing skills, and those skills can be used regardless the weapon you have equipped, and you will be able to have a backup weapon so you can equip the staff for healing and switch out to your greatsword for damage. That covers the whole Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found the video informative. As always, I'm Alex. Thanks for watching.